I'm dying. Man, I'm just kidding. Welcome to Douchebakistan. Population 1. That's me. According to our people in charge. Sure. Day 240 freaking 1. That's amazing, isn't it? Our house is completely gutted still. We had some people in there inspecting it the other day, and it's just a big pile of crap. Pretty much. Whatever. We have learned a bunch of useless junk over the last several weeks. So we haven't done one in, how long has it been now? I think Jen did one about 20 days ago or something like that. We kind of got away from doing these videos because they're just done. But back by popular demand, here we are. We were in kind of a standstill there for a long, long time. You know, 241 days worth of standstill because these people that we're dealing with are complete total assholes. Yeah. And then, so anyway, we took the policy, we had it turned over to an attorney, just have it kind of reviewed. And the attorney pointed out lots of very interesting things. The policy is definitely not written in our favor at all. No. It's very vague. And it's just a bunch of crap. There's a way to weasel out of just about anything and everything on there. So let's say you have damage to your house, like ours. We had boiled poo and pee and all sorts of nastiness all over the house. And there's primary damage, that they call, like, from the wetness getting all over everything, getting all sticky and gooey. So they have a contractor come in and they tear everything out and they find secondary damage. So that secondary damage is brought up against other things that don't go against your policy at all. They incur the costs. So there's a way that they can sneak out of that and not give it against your policy because of the way our policy is written. So my first and foremost thing would be to go ahead and have your policy read over really good by somebody that knows a hell of a lot more about it than like a dumbass like me. The guy with messy hair. Yeah, hold on a second. We got pause. So, to quickly reiterate what I was trying to say, I forgot the technical terminology for it right now. It is, if you have primary damage to your house, obvious damage, and they tear your house apart and find secondary damage, like let's say your electrical is not up to code, it is up to you, your insurance policy, to bring that up to code. So they have obvious damage on your sheetrock, let's say. They tear the sheetrock out, that is covered. Straight out of your policy. So let's say there's $20,000 worth of damage right there. Once they get the walls open, there's another $40,000 worth of damage hidden behind those walls, but the walls were opened. So that becomes secondary damage. That becomes cost incurred. You have to replace things before you are ever brought to that. So let's say there's $240,000 worth of total damage to your house, but the primary damage is only half of what your policy is. You are fucked. Hold on a second. So then, you sons of bitches! This brings us to another point. On December 22nd, we sent in a whole shitload of receipts because we paid all this extra frickin' fancy-ass money for a long-ass time for replacement cost. Oh yeah, sure, that's great. Ain't that just great? So, what you gotta do is, you get reimbursed, let's say $10,000. You go and you spend that $10,000 to replace the things that are on your itemized list. You send that receipt, all those receipts in to get reimbursed. Oh no, they just go and send that letter over to Helen Keller, and she goes and takes a nap and just sits on her ass for a little while. December 22nd, we sent it in. We haven't seen shit. Nice replacement cost. A-holes. So that's nice. Yeah. And then it's really frustrating because you want to go ahead and try and replace your things as quickly as possible because all of a sudden you're finding yourself and you ain't got no shit. So you go and replace your stuff and you want to get reimbursed for that stuff because that's what you freaking paid for, and then you just don't. No biggie. Pause again. So basically, here's my advice for the day. If you have State Farm, drop them. If you have someone else, good frickin' for you. But have your policy looked through. Seriously. Like, make sure that there isn't any weird-ass little loopholes and stuff. If you have a lawyer, or maybe your neighbor's a lawyer, I don't know. Maybe you're chasing some lawyer around the back alley in the middle of the night or whatever. I have no idea. I don't like lawyers. I think they're all a bunch of crooks. But basically, every once in a while, you need to talk to one. Have them review it. Make sure it's not vague and shitty, like our State Farm policy turned out to be. Yeah, almost as shitty as our representative. Go Doug. But anyway, these are way too long. Maybe I'll have to try and explain a little bit better in the next video that I might have to end up doing on day 250 freaking or 242, which would be tomorrow. More on how exactly this whole incurred cost things works, because it's a freaking mess. See you later.